Hello, my name is Maria Ruiz, and here today I have Miss Melissa Dupre, and I will be interviewing her on the creativity in mystery. So Melissa, I'm glad that you could be here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So Melissa, tell me a little bit about your
little bit from Chicago.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Chicago, and when I was about 9 years old, my mom was pretty fed up with the weather and just the overall condition of living in the city. So she basically didn't know what else to do, didn't know where else to go. So one day, it was really spontaneous. She just opened up a map and had me close my eyes and do one of these. And the first time I did it, it landed on Willacoochee, Georgia. So I mean, it wasn't completely accurate. So I did it again, and it landed in Florida. So what we did was we packed everything we owned in a little '89 Mercury Tracer, and we started driving across the nation. We went to Florida. We went to Louisiana, we drove to Houston, we drove all the way towards California, and then we went up towards Seattle and then back over towards Chicago, and just looking for a place to stay. And my mom is allergic to the cold, so she really liked Houston, and we stayed here.
Wonderful. I'm glad that you decided to pick Houston.
Yeah, no, it was tropical weather. I guess that had something to do with it, but she's allergic to the cold, and it serves its purpose because the school system was really great here, the public school, and I started acting through school.
Okay.
And
what schools?
I was in the Katy Independent School District,
Okay.
so I was in those elementary schools, and they have such a one-on-one, personal, intimate classroom environment. So I was really able to just get really involved in school. I love school, and then these theater projects in junior high and high school, and then you get into college, and everything just becomes more and more advanced and intimate, and you just open up to these different levels, and you explore your own self and your own characters, and it just gave me a media, a source to just discover myself. So that's how I got started, just acting in schools and college.
Okay. And then are you still in college?
Yes, I'm trying to finish. It's so tough. I'm trying to work and pay for college on my own. So I've done 2 years of community college, junior college, and I've done so many projects in college where I just, acting in college leads you to, networking with other directors and producers, and so I started networking, and I just stopped college just for a moment. Moment turned into 2 years. So networking and keeping busy, and college had just been put on hold, so I'm trying to finish. And I was a prospective student for Pace University in New York, and just trying to see what might happen. Maybe University of Houston, they have a great drama department. I'll see what happens. I had my first lead role in Chicago when I was about 6 or 7. I had my first lead role. And I didn't have to audition for it or anything. It was a family project. My aunt was a community service leader in Chicago, Illinois, and she had this project, and the project was called Jesus Christ Was Born a Homeless Child, and we did it in a shelter for homeless children to show that, even though they're homeless, even Jesus was homeless. So, it had a really good message, and it was my mom, my cousins. It was just our whole family. I have 10 aunts and uncles, 40 cousins, so we got together and did this play. My aunt went to Juilliard for singing, and she sang with the choir. we all just pulled together and did this project.
How beautiful.
Made it happen.
That is beautiful.
It was a great message.
That was wonderful. So in acting, how do you transpire acting into your everyday? I know you said you're a college student, so how do you balance your acting career and school?
Well, I'm finding it more and more difficult since I've been working full-time, but what I do is I use my acting and incorporate it in what I do. I work for a law firm, and so I deal one-on-one with clients, and I pretty much have to say the same thing without sounding like I've been telling them the same thing. So I use a lot of improv. I use a lot of ad-lib every single day, and I kind of when I'm not working on projects, I incorporate that every day, so I stay a little fresh, I stay hip, and I keep my mind working, because when you're working in a little cubicle, you tend to get a little dull.
I can
you
imagine.
tend to get a little lifeless, and so I incorporate
Imagine.
what I've learned in acting and that drive and that fire and that want to do something new. And I just talk to my clients and I tell them something different. And each phone call, a client won't know that I'm talking a different way or making up a different voice or having a different attitude, a different mood. So every call is different. So I kind of collectively just grab their accents, because I have clients that call from across the nation, and I get to absorb different kinds of people. And it's it's a easy balance, I find.
Oh, okay. Well, um, I saw you act in the, I believe it was the Have-It-Alls with Mr. West Adair.
Yes.
Yeah, you did really, really great. I had enjoyed that play. I really enjoyed
Claire de
it.
Table was my character.
Claire the Table.
Claire de Table. She was a very frustrated maid for the Have-It-Alls, because apparently they did. And it was a very fun project, very fun project. It was the first time that I was actually in a studio filming,
Oh, okay.
because I'm theater major.
Okay.
So I have never been in that kind of environment, and it was something very, very exciting for me, because, you know, in theater you're trained to nail something once, and if you don't do it right the first time, you know, that can cost the whole production. So in film it was just very easy going, but at the same time, you know, there's all these people watching you and these people that are trying to perfect the whole project as a whole, and it doesn't always go into what you do, but what your ensemble does. And it was just crazy, because there was one point where I had to do something 3 times, and it was just like rehearsal, but that was it. You know, that was it.
It was just at one time.
So the theater to film transition, it's just like, this is a piece of cake, you know. In theater there's just so much pressure, but here if I mess up I can do it again, or I can do it the way they want it, and not have to spend you know, that time in the set trying to figure out what they want. You know, they will tell you, or, you know, they'll give you what they need for you to express, and, you know, they try it out. So the theater to film transition was like, man, I've been busting my butt in theater, and I could be focusing on trying to perfect this. And I think this is what I really want to do, try to get into more film projects. I used to have an agency, but I find that as you network, you're better representing yourself. And working as an independent might be a little bit harder, but I find that just being on my own and networking and using my personality to sell myself, I'm my own agent. You know, I have to market myself. You know, nobody else is going to know how to sell me but me. So I think just working by myself, and I've met some great people. I've met people that will call me back on other
On
projects.
that note, do you have a way to contact you? In case for any directors want to see some great talent. I've seen her, and she is just phenomenal. Is there a way to get in touch with you?
The Mass Network MySpace. Check me out, www.myspace.com // Melissa Dupre, because that's the only way I know how to say that. I can't say it right. Melissa Dupre, MELISSADUPREY. And I've got
Great.
all my I've got my resume posted up there, and ways
Awesome.
to contact me, and what I like doing. I also dance, and
Oh, okay.
it has a lot about me.
Oh, you dance. You dance.
Salsa, merengue, Latin dances.
All right.
Bachata. And,
All right, the
I like
hot,
to do a
sexy
lot of
ones.
all the ones that make you sweat.
That's always good. Well, thank you for coming and being with us, Melissa. We
Thank you
do
very much
appreciate
for
you
having
coming
me.
out. And this was Melissa Dupre. Check her out on MySpace. And hopefully you'll come back and join us again at Creativity and Mystery. Thank you.